Old School RuneScape is a massive game with thousands of activities to explore and 23 different skills to master. In this series, I want to answer one question. Is it possible to max an account without repeating any skilling methods? It'll take a lot of tenacity, a ton of research, and an unhealthy amount of time, but welcome to episode 7 of Gillinor's first Uniqueman. Welcome back, everybody. Now that we're a little bit stronger, let's go collect those wolf bones. Hopefully this will go a little bit better than last time. As a reminder, we're going to be getting prayer level 3 by burying these bones, and we're also going to grab an extra 11 of them to use later. These wolves are still hurting me quite a bit. Once we run out of food, I think I might actually go train defense to 5 to get some steel armor. At the very least, I'm definitely going to be picking up a shield. You know, let's actually just go do that now. Turns out I don't have enough money for this, so we're going to head back to the steel plate body spawn in the lava maze. That'll get us a little bit of money as well as a steel plate body. It also turns out that there's a steel plate lake spawn not too far from the enclave, so we're going to grab that first. And now we can make our way to the lava maze. Hopefully we'll come out with more than 3 steel plate bodies this time. Considering I was already pretty greedy and didn't bring any food in with me, I'm not going to get any greedier here. We're just going to take what we've got and try to make it out. I am going to have to sit here and wait for HP regeneration, which will take a little bit, but it won't be terrible. Alright, I think 10 HP is probably enough to make it out of the maze. Oh my god. Wow, famous last words.
Failure.
This will still be enough for what I need to do, though. Hello, wolves. I am once again politely asking you to die. There's level 24 attack, and level 5 defense. It's time for some sick drip. Oh yeah, absolutely peak 2007. And a free emerald. People are already recognizing the fashionscape. Attack level 25. There we go, level 3 prayer. Now it's time to go back to fighting the extreme urge to bury these bones the moment I pick them up. 26 attack, and we're almost done here. Now that we're done with our food, let's go bank these wolf bones and get some more levels in prayer. We're gonna get our next 3 prayer levels by burying some bones and scattering some ashes that we collected earlier. Level 4 from monkey bones, level 5 from bat bones, and level 6 from fiendish ashes. Some of you might have noticed that I haven't used my large stock of regular bones yet. That is an active choice and I'll explain why later. But for now we're actually going to head back into the wilderness. This time we're going to go visit the boneyard. This is where the easiest to get to spawns for big bones are located, which we're going to use to get to level 7 prayer. Just like with the other bone varieties, we're going to be taking a couple of these with us on the way out. There's level 7 prayer. Now we're going to grab 5 extra sets of big bones and get out of here. I think it's finally time for me to explain what this other method I've been alluding to is. I bet lots of you have figured it out already, but we're going to be using the chaos altar. Before I started collecting all these different types of bones, I ran some calculations to see how many I would need for each level I wanted at the chaos altar. That's where I was getting those extra numbers earlier. But first, we're not going to be using any of those. Instead, we're going to go back to our good old friend, the burnt bones. We got level 2 prayer using these before, and now we're going to use 9 of them to get to 8 prayer using the chaos altar. The only thing I'm a tad worried about is getting PK'd because that is a prime PK or hotspot. But even if we did get PK'd, we could still just go get more bones, so it really wouldn't even be a big deal. But there is one more interesting part to this plan. If we take a look at the map, we can see that the chaos altar is actually really close to another point of interest. That's right, it's the lava maze. For the 3rd time, we're going to try to get more than 3 steel plate bodies out of this, and if I still manage to get only 3, then I'm just going to delete the account. Level 8 prayer, and now we make our way to the steel plate bodies. Okay, let's focus and not screw this up again. Considering that I actually have food this time, I should be totally okay. And that right there is 15 steel plate bodies. Now all we've got to do is make it out. Instead of running all the way south to level 20 or less wilderness, we're actually going to teleport out using a neat little trick. This ladder puts us right next to a lever that sends us into the King Black Dragon's lair. Interestingly, this lair is not actually located in the wilderness, meaning that we can teleport out immediately upon entering. Okay, not gonna lie, I absolutely thought I was dead. But despite needing a new pair of pants, we take those. And that right there is a very respectable cash stack. The next set of bones to use on the altar are wolf bones and monkey bones, of which we'll need to use 11 each. This is where getting PK'd would be annoying because that would mean I would need to go kill some more monkeys and wolves, which I really just don't want to do. Level 9, and level 10 prayer. Now it's time for bat bones and big bones, which we'll need 12 and 5 of respectively. Level 11, and level 12. To get to level 13 and 14 prayer, we're finally going to use that stack of regular bones I've got sitting in the bank. The reason I waited to use these until now is because I just had a ton of them sitting in the bank, and saving them for later meant that I didn't have to spend as much time getting wolf, monkey, and bat bones. First we're going to go bury a bunch of them, and then we're going to go use 18 of them on the chaos altar. 13 prayer, and 14 prayer. Let's get out of the wilderness and then jump back into some herblore training. In order to train herblore, we are going to need, surprisingly, some herbs. Fortunately, one of the best ways for ironmen to get low-level herbs is by killing chaos druids, which I can reasonably do with my gear and stats. Since we're going to be going back to killing things, we're going to go grab a couple new weapons first. We're just going to go back to Shazian so we can get basically every black weapon available to us. And now that that's done, we're gonna head back to Mr. Kebab Salesman so we can go get some more food. You know, I completely forgot how much fun it is to do this one by one. I am having the time of my life over here. But you know what? I think I would happily take this over the Rogue's Purse grind again. Also, hold on a second, is this like a bot farm or something? I've been noticing these guys running back and forth from the furnace. I wasn't really thinking much of it, but yeah, these guys are bots, all level 46. I don't know what's really worth botting here. Is it just because it's a really close furnace to a bank? If y'all have any ideas what they're doing, let me know in the comments. I'm kinda curious. With our weapons and kebabs in hand, it's time to head to the Taverley dungeon. We can find the Chaos Druids in the northeast corner and slaughter them for their herbs. As for how many of each we're gonna pick up down here, I'm honestly not really sure. I'm not quite done planning Herblore just yet, so I don't actually know what level these are gonna be used for. That being said, we're gonna be doing this for quite a while because the nearest bank is pretty far away. 27 attack. So I just finished my second trip and I do not think this is gonna work very well. Hitting ones and zeros the whole time is really slow, so I'm gonna get my strength level up a little bit more. I did a little looking to see if there are any weapons that are really bad that I still haven't used, and it turns out there's a lot of them if you stretch the definition of weapon a little bit. A prime example of this is Diego's Toy Store. I don't think anybody would disagree with me that the boxing gloves in here are definitely weapons, and for that matter the staff too. But there are other things in this shop that you also wield in your weapon slot that definitely count as weapons according to the game at least. The main ones that we're looking at are the Goblin Paint Cannon, all three of the little hand eggs, and the Green Banner. Now a lot of you are looking at this and saying, Xoren, you missed the most obvious one, but I promise you I didn't. This hammer right here is what's called a fun weapon, and it's got massive negative modifiers to all of its attack stats. There's a bunch of these in the game, so we need to be a little careful not to use those. The next place we're going to head for a weird weapon is the Kingdom of Korend. Towards the castle we can pick up a protest banner, which does count as a weapon. Can I? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Next, we're going to use our favorite lever to head towards our Doin. We're actually going to go ahead and start the Sheep Herder quest. We could actually finish it right now, but we're not going to. Instead, we're just going to pick up the cattle prod and leave the sheep to their business. Our next and final stop is Yanil. We'll be heading over to the Hunter's shop so we can pick up a butterfly net and a noose wand. And there we go, a bunch of crappy weapons to train our strength. As for what we're going to be killing with these things, I actually have an interesting plan. There's no way I'm going to be able to kill Chaos Druids reliably with this gear, so I'm going to go fight something much easier. Turns out that goblins have a pretty good chance of dropping beginner clue scrolls, which have a couple really interesting items for us, namely a bunch of black weaponry we can't get through any other method. There's also a full set of black armor, including a kite shield. And beyond that, it's also going to help us fill our collection log, which will let us use more lamps and books from random events. There is of course no guarantee that I can actually finish the clue scroll, but considering this is secondary to getting the strength levels, I'm totally happy to risk it. So without further ado, let's get to boxing some goblins.
For this fight, I've wrestled with alligators, I've tussled with a whale, I done handcuffed lightning and put thunder in jail. You know I'm bad. I've murdered a rock, I injured a stone, and I hospitalized a brick. I'm so bad I make medicine sick.
That's not a beginner clue scroll, but that is a clue scroll, and I don't think there's anything stopping me from doing this. We'll give it a shot. The first step here is pretty simple. I've just got to go talk to a guy, and I'm pretty sure that even we're capable of doing that. Alright, step number 2. That's totally doable. Also pretty nice that we're basically right there. Step number 3, and maybe a casket. And another very doable step. Alright, let's see what Ellis has for us. Damn you, Ellis! Well, at least all it is talking to another person. Last step, please. And there it is, our first casket on the account. Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous to open this up. There's a lot of not very good things this could be, but there are quite a few interesting rolls as well. Alright, well that is certainly interesting. The black plate legs are actually really nice if we get to level 10 defense. And the master clue is a really cool drop, but there is no way in hell we're finishing that. But I would say that was a pretty okay first clue scroll. Well, I decided to look at the first step just to see what it was, and I can actually do this? Like I was saying earlier, the odds of us finishing this are basically 0%, but I'm kind of curious how far we can actually get, so I'm going to take a look. Oh yeah, he's not going to talk to me until I do Fremennik trials. Oh well, back to Lumbridge we go. There's 13 strength. Ooh, an actual beginner clue scroll. Of course. Well, let's at least go see if it's doable. Iron ore, eh? I actually have no idea if I can get that. After a little bit of looking, it seems I actually can get iron ore. It turns out that one of the Tazar shops actually sells iron ore, but to buy it, we're gonna need some tokel. Or tokel? I guess I've really never said that out loud before. Well, in any case, we're gonna need 25 of it to buy some iron ore. And to get that, we're gonna sell some of the gems we got from random events. Turns out that we are gonna have a use for them after all. They sell for 15 apiece, so we're gonna do one quick world hop. And there's our iron ore. And Charlie gives us a very easy map clue. And we did it in 2. Let's take a look at what we've got. Well, can't win them all. After 7 episodes, I finally screwed up and was not recording when I hit a level. Instead, I hope you enjoy these adorable kittens while I tell you that I got to 14 strength. And there's 15 strength. Back to the Chaos Druid grind. Hopefully the extra strength levels will make this a little faster. It is still gonna take forever though. Man, there are so many bots of these things. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised at that, I just didn't know they were here. Level 28 attack, 29 attack. This is definitely going much faster than it was before. Oh my god, a vial of water. We are so back, chat. Not a bad first haul at all, though I think I might end up needing a few more weapons for this grind. So I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I finally calculated how many herbs I'm gonna need. The bad news is how many herbs I'm gonna need. If my calculations are correct, I'm gonna need 203 Guams, 251 Marintels, and 225 Terramins. And the even worse news is that I only have 5, 5, and 2 respectively. I'm starting to think that Chaos Druids are not the play here. That being said, a cursory glance through the drop tables is not showing me a better option, so I think I'm just gonna stick with this until I'm out of weapons for now. And there's the big 3-0 attack, 31 attack, 32 attack, and there's 33 attack with the last weapon we have. I'm gonna take a bit of a break from Chaos Druids, but there is still something we can do with Herblore. First up, we're finally gonna use that lamp from X Marks the Spot. This lamp gives us 300 XP and a skill of our choice, which for us will be Herblore, getting us to level 9. Now we're just going to need 52 experience to get to level 10. Getting that 52 experience is actually going to be a lot harder than it sounds though. The method we're going to be using is something I doubt most of you even know is in the game, and thanks to our restrictions it has some pretty steep requirements. Namely, we're going to need at least 36 cooking. The main question is, why am I going to need cooking to do Herblore, and trust me, I will, you'll see why. First up on our cooking adventure is a baked potato, and yes, I do mean a single baked potato. When we completed Cook's Assistant, we were left with 2 experience to get to the next level, which a single baked potato will do handedly. Level 9 cooking, which gives us our next method, spicy sauce. Spicy sauce is made with chopped garlic and gnome spices, and we'll need 7 of them to hit our next level. Fortunately, there is a very easy to get to garlic spawn in East Ardoyne, which is a very short detour on the way to the gnome stronghold. Step 1, chop the garlic. Step 2, buy some gnomish spice. And step 3, combine. Level 10 cooking. Next up, we've got a trifecta of weird ones. We'll be using half-baked batas, half-baked bowls, and half-baked crunchies. These are all really simple. Just take some dough, put it in the right thing, and bake it. This is normally the first step to gnomish cooking, but it will be our last. We'll need a total of 7 successes here. 11 cooking, now we need 8 baked bowls. 12 cooking, and now we just need 8 baked crunchies. And there's 13 cooking. Now for something completely different. Nah, just kidding, it's still cooking. We're gonna go cook 9 shrimps to get our next level. We can buy some shrimps from Frankie over here, and then cook them on the range directly to the west. Level 14 cooking. Now we're gonna head back to the gnome stronghold because I was silly and didn't grab the things I needed for the next levels. We'll be getting levels 15 and 16 here, as well as getting the materials for levels 18 and 20. All of that will be done by mixing cocktails. First we'll be making 10 mixed blasts. 15 cooking. Next we'll need 11 mixed punches. Level 16 cooking. With a little bit of math, I found I'm gonna need 15 mixed blizzards and 16 mixed short green guys to get levels 19 and 20 cooking, respectively. So I'm gonna grab all those materials right now. Alright, supplies are in the bank. Let's run over to Port Sarim to buy some flour. We'll be using this right now to make bread, but we'll be needing a lot more in the future, so I'm just gonna pick up a bunch while I'm here. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know I could burn these. Level 17 cooking. For level 18, we'll be heading back to Port Piscarilius to cook some sardines. 18 cooking. Let's go mix those cocktails. 19 cooking. Huh? Ah, shit. That's all the time we have for now. Before you go, I want to wish all the LGBTQ+ folk in the audience a very happy Pride Month. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my supporters over on Ko-Fi and Twitch. Miss Moss, Rosharon, Big Mac 1987, Cat C Games, Okifer, Celty C, Marubur, Lix, Baileyless, and Synthesai. And to everyone, as always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all next time.